Hi guys, and welcome back to our FIFA 18 Rebuilding Sunderland Career Mode Season 2. And as you can see from the last episode, the green screen has gone, well at least the green coloured screen has gone, because like I mentioned again in the last episode, I was going to try and iron it and try and get the creases out because I'd only just got it and just wanted to try it out really. But when I did try to iron it, because the material that it is, the second the iron touched it, it literally torn up a massive hole in it, which is incredibly annoying. I could get away with it because it's not too noticeable and I could make the hole be elsewhere, but I just really didn't like the massive amount of creases that were in it, and with the colour that it is, it makes it look awful. When I look back at the last episode I thought, nah, I don't like that. I do have a white and a black one, as you can see the black one's here as well. I tried the white one, but because that's so creased, it literally just looked like it had a load of paper towels behind me and it looked shocking. So I have used the black one. I know it's not great. It's something that I want to just use for the time being. I hope it's okay, but the material that these things have come in, it is impossible to iron, and I've tried loads of different ways. I've tried soaking them and then drying them, but they're pretty much waterproof as well, so when water touches them it literally just runs straight off it, so it's impossible to iron and make it look decent for you guys, unfortunately. But I'm hoping this is okay for the time being. The way I've set up now, I've got both lights up now as well. I don't know whether this is too bright or anything like that. I'm just trying to make it look as good as possible for you guys. I don't understand why when they send you these things, why they send you them so folded, if you know what I mean, because they're impossible to get the creases out. And I've looked it up online, and even a load of people online say that the material that this is, it's virtually impossible to get the creases out. So once it's creased for life. So I don't see why they do that. But anyway, that's by the by. I'm going off the topic. I hope everything looks okay for you. Let's get into the episode. So, after reading through the comments on the last episode, the general vibe I got from you guys for what you want me to do today, because I did put it out there that I think we could possibly be comfortable to go into the first game of the season and just skip through the rest of the days and go straight to the first game. But like I say, the general vibe I did get was that you guys want one more episode of transfers and selling. And after specifically reading through all your comments, the sort of conclusion I've come to is to try and sell McNair, which we could have done in the last episode, but we didn't, and to sell McManaman, and also to bring in a centre midfielder in, or a cam, as well as another striker, and then maybe a sort of experienced centre back, because we do have injuries in that position at the moment, so we might be able to get one on the cheap, possibly. We'll have to see. And then we'll probably just try and renew some contracts, which was also suggested by one of you guys. And then at the end of the episode, what we'll do, we'll go through the formations, because this 4-2-3-1 at the minute, it's comfortable. But if we do want to get more centre mids, because we do have loads at the minute, we're going to have to accommodate that. Because over the last episode, we looked at how many centre mids we've got, and I think there's a good 6 or 7. So if we wanted to get another centre mid in, or a cam, because if we played a flat 3 we could put a cam with the flat 3. So again, at the end of the episode we'll go through the formations and what we could possibly do. We might revert to a 5 at the back like we did last season. We could do just a straight 4-3-3, or stick with a 4-2-3-1, or any other formation, a 4-4-2, whatever. And then at the end I'll do a poll as well, and then you guys can choose which formation you think would be best, and then that is what we'll use for the first game of the season, and I'll make it work that way. Okay, so let's get into it. So as of right now, this is the transfer budget that we have got. It's not a massive amount, but it's decent, and I do have an idea in my head of who we are going to get as well. So I'll show you what I'm thinking of trying to do in this episode transfer-wise. I am thinking of going for Harry Winks, because he can play as a centre mid, a CDM and as a cam. But if we got Harry Winks now, we would literally have to rely on and hope that a transfer offer come in for someone, and it's a decent sized transfer offer, so then we can purchase other players that we want as well. But he is a really, really interesting player to look at. I did mention in the comments to the person who suggested Harry Winks, I did say that I don't really like him as a cam. I prefer him as a centre mid, a ball playing centre mid. But he can play in that position if we would need him to. So we could go for Harry Winks. As the striker, what I was actually going to do, and it's a massive shame that we can't do it, someone else suggested this as well, Jermaine Defoe. I was going to go in for him because we need a sort of short-term striker at the minute whilst Wilson is injured. But unfortunately, he is retiring at the end of the season, so we can't go for him. So I would like to trigger Dominic Solanke's release clause of 8.6 million, which isn't too much at all. And for a centre-back, that's where we're kind of struggling a little bit as to who to go for. There's Skirtle there, who is experienced, but we might need to pay over the odds a little bit for Skirtle. But I just want someone who can fill in for the season or short term. But we'll get to that when it comes to it. That's kind of the last thing on my priorities. So what we'll do, we'll just skip the final of this pre-season tournament, and then hopefully we get a little bit off that. So we'll simulate this, and we win 2-1, which is absolutely awesome. Harrison, who's been on fire in this pre-season, gets himself a brace. So let's see how much money we get from the tournament for winning this. So we got 3.8 million from winning the pre-season tournament, and we've just received an offer from Brighton for Aidan McGeady, which is someone that we debated selling. Shall we sell him? If we get a little bit more, we might be able to accommodate the signings that we've just talked about getting. He's 32. He said in the review that his attributes and his stats are decreasing massively. So to get about 6 million for him now wouldn't be a bad idea. On the left, we do have several options. We can play Calvert-Lewin, Sinclair, and I know we can play on the right as well. But then on the right, we've got Masonda, Harrison. So do we really need him? So I think I am going to negotiate with him, guys, and see if we can get a little bit more. Okay, so we've settled to sell McGeady for 5.85 million, which I think is a really fair price considering his age and what have you. So he could potentially be going to Brighton if the contract talks go well there. And there is the confirmation that Aidan McGeady has been sold for 5.85 million. We will receive 4.1 million in our transfer budget, and as I say that, Elliot Embleton has received an offer as well of 200k. I'm not really too fussed how much we get for him, it's just a case of getting rid. It does say he's worth between 130k and 190k, so a 200k offer isn't bad. I'll just straight up accept it. I won't negotiate that one. So now we are clearing a bit of space in our squad. So this is the amount of money we have in our budget right now. We have 18 million and a decent bit of wage, so we might be able to pull off Solanke and Winks right now. We'll have to see. I do really like Winks, and you guys have suggested him several times throughout this series, so I will go for him. Or could we go for Edwards? But Edwards is 69 rated anyway, whereas Winks, yeah, he's 3 years older and rated 75, but I think we need the quality in there right now rather than another work in progress, because we already have Busquets, Vieira, them kind of players. Those will improve. We don't need another player like that, because we've just got the new kid from the youth squad as well who's come up, who will improve as well, so we don't need another player like that. So we will go in for Winks and see what we can do. Okay, so we've agreed on a 10.1 million fee for Harry Winks. I did start off with a 10 million offer. He wanted 10.3. I played awkward and offered 10.1. So we will now go into contract negotiations with Winks and see if we can make him a Sunderland player. Okay, so he's happy with an important role in the squad. Offer him a 4-year contract. Yep, that's absolutely perfect. Things going swimmingly. He wants a release clause of 26.2 million. I absolutely hate release clauses though. Right, okay, I've tried to put the release clause up a little bit higher to 35 million, but they only want 26.2. We'll accept it, because even if someone does come in with that offer, it's still a lot of money to bring in. Plus, if no one does come in for him with that release clause, at the end of the season, I'll offer him a new contract and hopefully wipe out that release clause as well. So I'll accept that. That is okay. Okay, so we have come to an agreement. We did pay over the odds a little bit. I think we paid him lower in his wages than what he was getting at Spurs anyway, but with bonuses, which I know you guys have told me a million times to start delegating, but with a play like this, I didn't want to make a mess of it, and the first game of the season is coming really, really quickly now, so I didn't want to wait and then have to play the first game of the season in this episode, which I didn't want to do just yet. So, Harry Winks becomes our 7th signing of the season. I think these signings that we've got so far have been absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy with the incoming transfers that we've made so far. So I'm going to go into negotiations with Solanke. We're very, very tight on our transfer budget, so I'm going to have to offer lower than his release clause. If we can't do it, it's fine. In a week's time, we'll go back in for him, and then hopefully we've made a little bit of money from something. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we have managed to agree on terms with Liverpool to go for Solanke. Originally, he did try and get me up to about 7.9 million, but I reduced it massively and then just added a sell-on clause, and they were quite happy to settle on, I think it was about 6.3 million, but now I don't know whether we actually have enough money to even offer him a contract, so we'll have to see what happens. So with Solanke, I will delegate this one. I'll up the starting wage to 62 because I think he's currently on the late 60s anyway, and maximum we'll do 70k because I think that's pretty much exactly what we've got in the bank at the minute, so we'll try that, and hopefully in a few days he will have accepted that because we can't afford any bonuses at all. And now we have received an offer for Jason Steele, which is perfect because we've got 5 keepers at the moment, remember. I think I'm just going to straight up accept that because that's bang in the middle of what he is worth. So I'm going to accept that, 730k, and Jason Steele will go. And in real life, I absolutely hate him. He's an absolutely appalling goalkeeper. So I try and keep my feelings from real life football to FIFA football separated. Even though it is really hard though being a Sunderland fan and playing as Sunderland in this career mode. But as you can see, Dominic Solanke has accepted the offer. A squad rotation role they've settled on as well, and a 3-year contract. So that's brilliant. I'll take that every day of the week. So that is another striker we've got. There he is in a Sunderland kit, 20 years of age, 62.5k a week. Hold on, it just said, what? It literally just said a minute ago that it's a 3-year contract, and now it says contract length 2 years. Which I don't really understand, but whatever. Look, contract length 3 years, then when you go into Transfer Hub, it says 2 years. Oh yeah, sort your career mode out. So this is how the strike situation looks at the minute. We've got Isaac and Lewin, who will be definitely at least hovering around the starting lineup whilst Wilson is injured. Osoro and Maja, I'm pretty much just going to leave them on the bench or in the reserves, but I am going to be training them up. As you can see, Maja's already gone up by 1. Solanke will probably end up starting the first game of the season. Well, either Solanke or Lewin. We'll have to see. Wilson is actually only back in 3 months, which is really, really good. Do we put Maja or Osoro out on loan? I'll leave that to you guys. What do you think? Shall we put them out on loan? Or, like I say, just leave them in the reserves and train them as much as possible? The squad roles, Osoro sporadic and Maja is prospect or a hot prospect. So I don't think they complain too much and get unhappy or put in a transfer request if we don't play them too much. So that's not too bad. So really we have 4 strikers, or 4 first team strikers in Isaac, Lewin, Solanke and Wilson, which is brilliant. So I'm really happy with that. But now onto the midfield, the middle of midfield anyway. For cams we have Gooch and Enriquez, who is our new kid. But look at all the CMs now. We have Embleton's going, and Dong and Winks we have. And for the CDMs we have a whole bunch of them. We have Busquets and Vieira, McNair, who I'm going to try and get rid of, so we'll forget he's there, and Villa and Catamol. So we are looking pretty good there. I think we're finished now for the central midfield positions. Cams, do we really need one now that we brought Winks in? No, I'm going to leave it at that. Strikers were sorted. We have literally 0 in the bank right now. I will fast forward as much as possible up until the first game of the season, see if any transfer offers do come in, and then we could maybe go for another centre-back. If not, that will be that, and the next episode will be the first game of the season. So there was confirmation that Steele and Embleton have been sold. We've got 130k into the transfer budget from Embleton and 475k from Steele's sale as well. We've just received an offer for Sturjek as well, so we'll accept that straight up because he's not worth much as it is, and that would be another keeper off the list as well, because like I said, we did have 5, we've just got rid of Steele. Let's get rid of Sturjek. So then we'll just have Reuter, Leno and Mika as well, who are still waiting to ship off. So we have just received an offer for Lee Catamol, which I've rejected. It was a 6 million or 6.2 million bid, but you guys have already said that you really want me to keep him on, so I am keeping him on, and I've rejected the offer. So Sturjek's transfer talks have broken down. They couldn't reach terms, which is a shame because he's literally just going to be lingering in this club. I don't know why he couldn't have just gone. But as you can see now, guys, the first game of the Premier League season, which I'm absolutely buzzing for and I can't wait to start, is just round the corner. We are playing Stoke away from home on our first game of this season. But like I said, what I'm going to do now is just run through possible formations. I'll leave a poll on the video up in the corner as well for you to choose what formation you would like to see us start with and maybe try and get used to, and then a formation we can use for the season going forward. So your first option is a 4-2-3-1, and just stick with it as it is. Don't really take too much notice of the players, because the players I'm going to move around anyway, and the lineup could be completely different to what's on your screen right now. So a 4-2-3-1, or a flat 4-3-3, a 4-4-1-1 with a centre forward behind the striker, or a 3-5-2, which is where we can bring the wingers down to make them wing backs if possible, because we have used this formation in the past. We are kind of used to it, and we have quite a lot of success with it. So leave your vote now, because I am going to do the next episode either tomorrow or possibly even the day after. I'm thinking more the day after, so it gives you time to get your suggestions in on what to do and how to go forward with formations and stuff like that. So if you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like, subscribe to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army, and of course to keep up to date with future videos. But for now, you take care and stay jammy.